first one that's coming your way, Eric Tudor. The difference is the age. He's 20 years old. They're about the same size. He gave up a couple pounds to Donte Stubbs, but he's 3-0, 3 KOs. They've been impressive. Can he make it 4 in a row tonight?
Fighting out of the blue corner, wearing red trimmed in black, he weighed in officially 157.6 pounds. In 10 fights, his record stands at 6 victories with 4 defeats and 2 wins. Coming by way of out from Riverside, California, here is Donte Stubbs! And across the ring, his opponent fighting out of the red corner. Wearing white with gold, he weighed in 154 pounds even. In 2 bouts, he stands perfect with 2 victories, both wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Hollywood, Florida. Here is the undefeated Eric Tudor!
This is good here, this is good here. This is Michael Mans. Touch gloves if you want. God bless.
Ray Corona, the third man in the ring. We are getting ready to go. Thank you for joining us wherever you may be. Golden Boy Fight Night. You're on DAZN and also on Golden Boy's YouTube page. Eric Tudor, that's Donte Stubbs representing Riverside, California. 5 fights coming your way. We are underway in Indio, California. Eric Tudor, a 20-year-old. He's a young man with Romanian roots. His father's from Romania, so he was able to try to qualify for the Olympics on the Romanian banner. He won some national champions for them, but he lives in Hollywood, Florida. Only 20 years old, Bernard. And in our fighter meetings, doesn't speak much, but he is laser focused, wasn't he?
Yeah, and not only was he laser focused, excuse me, laser focused, he was also really adamant about what he wants to do going forward. Very confident, predicting that he will win impressively. And, he has the look, he has his lean body, and you know what? I'm looking for, in this fight, for him to prove what he was saying yesterday and go forward after that. But right now, I like what he says, I like how he looks, I like how he's being patient.
Yeah, trained by Derek Santos, Boca Pal in South Florida. As Derek said, he's very, very professional. His attitude, don't have to tell him anything twice. He's after it.
And he wants to work with everybody in the gym. I mean, he's a guy that spoke it. I didn't know too much about him, but his trainer spoke highly of him, and he spoke, what he wanted to do, Eric, in the future.
Gets a lot of work with a good friend of ours, Chris Algieri. He's now a broadcaster, an excellent fighter in his own right. And Chris said, I love sparring with him. This kid has a lot of potential. So when the veteran pros are talking about you like that, you know it's something.
Exactly, and trust me, Chris knows what he's talking about when he gives him that stamp of approval that he has something to work with from here on.
Donte Stubbs, Savage is his nickname. He's 27 years old. He's 6-4 from Riverside, California, but he's also a guy who, as he said, I've never had a camp. I just take fights when I get them. He knows his role in the sport, but for the first time, he's actually starting to take it serious for this fight. Not that he wasn't serious, but just the training wasn't there.
And that's what I asked him a couple of questions about, what was the problem, or, why you come in unprepared, and he gave it, his account of it, but, you can't take that into the next fight if I'm his opponent. If I'm Eric, I'm looking at him like this guy might wake up with me and start winning, so I can't make that happen. That's the way I got from Eric on his counter response to that. But, both these guys are still at a young career, young age, and it matters now.
Final seconds of the opening round, scheduled for 6 here at Golden Boy Fight Night in Indio, California. Working our way towards Tito Costa against Yan Rivera.
They're trying to fill each other out.
Eric Tudor, his last fight was in April. I was in Mexico, a first round knockout. So he went down there to get fights. He turned pro this year. It was the first time he's fighting somebody with a winning record in Donte Stubbs. Stubbs, we've seen him around the Southern California club scenes. He's fought on Thompson shows. He's fought different venues, always the B-side. And he said, this is the first time I actually hired a strength and conditioning coach, because he's starting to realize, Bernard, you start losing, you're gonna be the B-side, but you're gonna be looked at a different way also.
Yeah, and he's talked about, as you mentioned, his gas tank. You know how he, got tired for certain fights, and and another thing, you got to fill your gas tank up if you're looking to go in this sport long in your career. So he mentioned it, so he's conscious of it. So let's see if he really live up to what he said that he did prior to this fight, that he got ready. And his gas tank is full.
And worked a couple of his fights on the club scenes, and he's knocked guys down early, but then takes the foot off the gas pedal, and he said he just gasses out. So he goes for broke in the second and third rounds. He looks like he's starting to pick up the speed here.
And if I was Eric, and I know I watched fights before Eric took this fight, he has to go ahead now and just put the pressure on him and make him fight where he can use some of that energy, use some of that intensity. And so if he gets tired, then Eric be able to capitalize on that. And look, Donte would be looking like, where's the gas tank? If he have it, he'll prove it, and it will show.
Yeah, Stubbs was recently sparring Jaime Munguia in Big Bear. He's been used by Triple G in 4 different camps. A good body shot landed by Eric Tudor. So Triple G uses him 4 times. Munguia has used him. He said, I've learned in those camps not to fold. And as we mentioned in the meeting, Bernard, like, wait, are you comfortable just being a sparring partner and getting paid like that?
And it seemed like that's what his role has been. And,
yeah.
and mentally he goes in there with that mentality, and you hear a lot of talking that, when they had a fighters meeting, they talk to us and we ask them questions, but, it really counts. They know the next day when they got a fight like now. And so let's see if that one just, if it was just talk, or was it something that he corrected.
20-year-old Eric Tudor going to the body as Stubbs lands with the left.
Good combination, but it was 1 or 2 punches before then. It was a 3-punch combination, and 2 of them got in. If he can do more of that, then Eric has to really adjust to what he's doing now, and it's not actually getting his respect from Stubbs. I like to see Stubbs go to the body. He's able to lean. Eric is tall. The body is right there. I haven't seen Stubbs try to use that type of advantage and work that body, which would kill, the hands to come down.
So Eric Tudor getting some rounds in finally in his young career.
And he's getting a little brave too. He's getting a little, they warmed up and they see that he got some action with the body shots, and he wants to press it now.
He hits behind the head. Rick Corona gets in there and stops him. Check him. Let's go. Stubbs has never been stopped. He's fighting the 4th undefeated opponent in last 5 fights for Donte Stubbs, so he knows what's going on.
And he knows how to survive, and he trust me, he knows how to stay in the game, and let's see if he can add that he wants to win to that, and that's where Eric has to adjust to what comes to him.
Stubbs, the southpaw, but he'll mix it up, move around, different looks, just like that. We had a couple fights in the bubble at MGM on Top Rank shows, and said I loved it. There was nobody there. It's great. Nobody's bothering me. This guy's wired different, Bernard.
Yeah, he is. He has an old soul with a young body and a young career. And when you hear these things, you're like, oh, wait a minute. I don't hear this from a normal guy with a few fights. But let me tell you, he talks well. He looks good, and he's working on these combinations more. He said in the gym, and I want to see him do it now where it counts. I like to see him throw a little bit more jabs and meaningful jabs, and then let the right hand follow those jabs.
Donte Stubbs, 6'4", his record from Riverside, California. He breeds French Bulldogs. Getting hit by the body by Eric Tudor, the 20-year-old, who, as he said, is in bed by 8 o'clock and he does nothing. Like, you haven't posted on Instagram in a couple months. He's like, I don't like it. Like, this is a different 20-year-old also.
Yeah, he's focused on staying, focused on boxing, on winning, and on learning. I mean, he talked about learning and getting different techniques from his trainer and want to put him to effect. You see that 1-2? That was a good right hand, and it got Stubbs' attention.
Exchange jabs. A body shot from Tudor, you hear it.
and this is the learning process in a young career like this, because both guys, you know, have little fights, you know, not that many fights, but this is where you learn. You see them starting to loosen up and take chances now and really trade with each other, and that's the good thing, that both guys now wants to establish their dominance to each other.
Final seconds of the third round. Tudor and Stubbs. Thursday night boxing.
Both guys exchange good punches.
Donte lands and says, give me another one. We need a little while there.
Guys.
That'll do it for 3. Tuning along. You see your tweets. We appreciate you joining in. Beto Duran alongside Bernard Hopkins, a Hall of Famer, and Brandy Flores, ringside reporter tonight. We're in the 4th round. Good experience for 20-year-old Eric Tudor.
Wipe up this
Bernard,
water
you
here.
can train all you want, you can spar all you want, but it's you actually get in the ring and get real rounds. That's what matters.
And that matters, and it's experience that you're gaining. And you can't pay for that. You have to earn it, and it comes with time. But I like to see Donte a little bit more aggressive, because you look at his style, you look at his lack of condition. He was breathing really hard when he went to the corner. If he makes the fight ugly but makes it tough and rough, I think that Eric will have to adjust to that, and I don't think he's going to react real positive to it.
The first time that Tudor had resistance in his career. I mean, mind you, he's 20 years old. They're bringing him along real slow. But and there's Donte Stubbs swing and miss. I've seen that in the 3 fights I've worked with him. He always goes for one of those big haymakers.
And you know why? You're desperate. You're tired. When you're tired, man, you're a desperate man. And that's why that punch came from the other side of the ring. And you know what? Eric didn't count on that. And that's something that, you know, he probably look at when he look at this fight, that he must make him pay. You make him miss, you make him what? Pay.
You do see Donte Stubbs in the red.
Work, guys. Work out of there.
Moving heavy here in the 4th round. We also you said your conditioning is not really. Do you
Put your arm
run?
out. Put your arm out.
He hesitated to answer, didn't he?
Yeah, that means sometimes. Because he's breathing. He went to the corner in the last round, and he was legs out, and he didn't really sit on the stool completely. He's sort of gassing now. Let's see if he can catch his wind and throw some punches and try to stay in the fight. But it looked like he's gassing.
Eric Tudor in white. His longest fight to date was 1:15 into the 2nd round. So he's getting work tonight, he's getting experience.
One thing I like about Eric, what he's doing, though, he's keeping just, look at his feet, his position. He's just enough distance to be able to hit and really not get countered. And that's the thing, just did a good roll, head roll, shoulder roll, and he need to counter when he do that. He throws the right hand after he make that roll and that move is to set up the right hand.
That right there is what you're talking about, right, Bernard? Just one winging it.
That one winging is like trying to, like, you know, hit the lottery. You must play more than once. You must throw more than once to be able to be effective.
So what's Tudor got to do?
Look, Tudor has to understand that, like, he must go in there and let them hands go and keep his distance enough where he can't get hit, but he can hit, and just throw punches and let him overwork himself.
Stop with the bell, guys.
Stubbs try to get out of the way and try to fight his way back.
Nice move, man. Nice move. Nice move.
It's good work with those guys at Boca Pound. 5th round of action for Eric Tudor. Quality rounds, Bernard. For a young fighter, that's very important.
He's in school. This is school right now. You must get that schooling to go on to college. And let me tell you, these are the fights that young fighters need, not just to knock out the first round, because, yeah, you got the knockout, but what have you learned from that knockout?
And you mentioned school. I asked Tudor if he went to high school. He's like, well, what does that mean? He's like, I was enrolled online, but because he was traveling so much for it, he was homeschooled. And he's like, my school was in the gym. So that's how locked in and focused he is for the young man, Eric Tudor. Look at the CompuBox numbers, power punches through 4, half of them being landed by Eric Tudor. No surprise there.
I'm really waiting on one of these guys to start, you know, getting in the mindset of setting each other up, or at least Eric, who's looking like more fresher, you know, than Stubbs, to be able to go ahead and throw a combination and set him up and still go back to the body so he can bring himself back to balance. And the balance is key when you throw 3 or 4 punches because you want to be set.
Body
Just
shot.
like that, exactly.
That's what you're looking for.
Right there, those moments when you right there, he must throw those punches and take that step to the side. Make him miss, make him pay. I don't see him doing that. I'm pretty sure once this fight is over with, they will look at the fight later on and they will see the opportunities that Eric had that he didn't capitalize on.
It's the first time he's actually had an opponent that's willing to trade with him and step in there.
Exactly. He just threw 4 or 5 punch combination. That's what I'm talking about. He got the look, he got the lean body, he got the reach. Stay a distance, but not too close to be able to be effective like he just did.
Here's the corner of Stubbs. You got to stay busy.
Work, guys. Your hands are free. Pull out. Come on.
Gerardo telling him to keep on working.
Stop.
The 5th
Take a step
round
back.
scheduled for 6. Our opening bout tonight. Donte Stubbs in red. Eric Tudor, the 20-year-old with Romanian roots. His younger brother, 16 years old. He also trains with him, one of his lead sparring partners.
Watch behind the head. Watch that punch behind the head. Let's go. Put
You
your
know,
arms
this
out.
generation of
Stop.
boxing,
Take a step back.
majority of them want to make a statement when they go in the ring because they want to be talked about, they want to be known. So these are fights that the ones that's listening at home is watching the fight, they must make statements. And that's what Eric talked about yesterday at the fighters meeting, that he wants to make a statement. I'm waiting to see that statement.
You're stuck with the belt.
Well, we see it in the 6th round as we're wrapping up the 5th here in Indio, California. Eric Tudor looking good here in his 4th fight.
What was said, now he got 1 round to make it happen. And this is where Eric has to be aware, but he also has to still fight. Eric's still in the fight. He just got hit with overhand right. He took it pretty well, but this is where he has to be careful, but he has to be active. Also,
Body shots from Tudor. Good one. That's what Bernard wanted to see. Now you see it, Bernard, the combinations.
Yes, I wish it would have happened earlier because it would have put that investment and you would have cashed out later.
Good right hand landed by Tudor. And Stubbs saying, come on, bring it. Well, you got tagged.
But he's definitely a tough guy. He's been in there,
yeah.
you said earlier, he's been in there with sparring partners like Triple G and other people. He know how to take a punch. He know how to survive. And you know what? You still continue to punch him from Eric.
Stiff jab landed by Tudor, followed by a right. Stubbs came out, throwing the kitchen sink the first 10 seconds, and out. Could he gas himself?
But he's sneaky. I think he's playing possum. He's waiting, then he'll throw a hanger punch, haymaker too, right behind that, because he's waiting to peekaboo and try to sneak a shot in. And Eric has to be careful because, he has to be aware of that.
Tudor moving around in white in the 6th and final round. Donte Stubbs.
Don't do that. Let's go. Put your arms out. Let's go. Work. Stop. Take a step back, both of you.
Eric Tudor. Body work from Tudor. 1 punch at a time, though, going to the body. Stubbs good at slipping these punches, too. The corner of Stubbs, come on, let's get to work. You can hear them giving instructions.
I mean, Eric got a good jab. He can throw a jab from the hip. He can throw a jab from the shoulder. I like that he can throw these punches and still be on balance to be able to see if he got another opportunity with a right hand or another jab.
Minute to go in the fight.
He got hit with a good uppercut because he leaned right in without throwing anything coming in. So he got caught with an uppercut. It wasn't powerful, but it was an uppercut that popped his head out.
For Eric Tudor, this could be his first real fight. His 3 other fights were against minimal resistance. Tonight he's got to work it and earn. You see some blood from the nose of Stubbs here with 30 seconds to go in the fight. Being smart is Eric Tudor also.
Yeah, that, showing some ring generalship, but
Stop.
he's a little winded. It's been like a grueling fight.
Huh?
Stubbs been on him. He's never took a step back. He continued to come forward.
You gotta stop with the bell.
Gets tagged right at the bell, and that'll do it. 6 6 good rounds, fun round between Eric Tudor and Donte Stubbs. They go to the distance.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds, we go to the scorecards. All 3 judges see it, 60-54. Your winner by unanimous decision. He is still undefeated, Eric Tudor.
Goes the distance, 6 good rounds, sweeps the cards. 20-year-old Eric Tudor.
A complete fight in your career. Tell me, what was this learning experience like?
It was a great learning experience, you know, being my first round, 6-round fight. I was able to control the pace real good, move around good, so I'm happy with the way I dictated the tempo. I didn't rush, I didn't do nothing too crazy, so I'm happy with the performance.
Yeah, and Stubbs kept trying to get you, had a lot of wild swings. How were you able to stay composed and finish with your game?
You know, that's just what we've been working on in the gym. We've been working on boxing, being smart. So I knew, you know, I would get him eventually, so I just had to stay patient and composed.
You stay undefeated. You're 20 years old. Tell me, what's next for you?
You know, I'm going to get back in the gym, study the fight, see what I need to improve on, and, you know, we'll take it from there.
All right, congratulations, guys.